Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. I miss being out on the road and seeing you face to face. A lot of you have closed shops. Some of you are working in your shops. You've got a little bit of an online presence. Some of you getting caught up on your long arming or kit building, and there's several of you that are coordinating an effort to make masks, and that's awesome. I think that's amazing. I think that's the way to do it so that people can bring them to you in a safe way, and then you can deliver them to where they need to be in a safe way as well. So bravo, good job. I'm so proud of you and proud to be a part of this industry. The kind of ladies that, and gentlemen, that do those kind of charity work things. So that's awesome. So anyway, let me just dive into just real simple review on the fabrics that I received. The first one is Henry Glass. Got a whole pile of Henry Glass, and these are delivering from, let's see, September all the way out to November. So there's some new white on whites in there. There's some good stuff, but that'll be a whole nother video. Okay, I got 4 lines of Clothworks that deliver in September. I also posted 4 more from Clothworks, which I haven't even gotten the cards yet for. Those are delivering in October, and those are already out on the Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, find the link in the email that I'm sending you this video in, and come on and join the Facebook group. I'm kind of new to this social media. I've never been really big on Facebook, so I'm doing the best I can, and any kind of tips and hints and helps and communication back will really help me to know whether I'm doing what you want to see and what you need to hear right now. So you saw a little video on the Paintbrush Studio lines. Those are all delivering in April. I also received a whole pile of Wilmington prints, and I went through a whole video on those. When I did go through that, I think I was a little bit confused on the block of the month. There's two block of the months that are very similar. This one's called Cross Section, and this one is called American Glory. They're both the same pattern, and the American Glory version uses red, white, and blue, whereas the cross-section one uses red, white, and gray. So, and they are bolts that they're cutting off of versus pre-cuts. So I may have said that they're pre-cuts, but they're not. It's the bolts. Okay, and I may not have shown you the 108 that they're coming out with in December called Venetian Texture. And I won't go into too much detail, but that's another wide that's coming out from Wilmington Prints in December. I had a meeting and I had pulled my wides aside, so they kind of got put in the wrong place. Marcus has some new wides. These are actually wides that you may have seen with me on paper, but it's nice to see the real fabric. Let me know if you want to have face-to-face meeting like this. I can do FaceTime for sure. If that's not a platform that you have access to and we need to use Zoom or something else like that, I'm willing to learn. Got nothing but time to learn that kind of stuff. So my son-in-law lent me these awesome lights. So it eliminates the shadows, and you can see the samples pretty well. Can't touch and feel the fabrics, which this is the best we can do. So I'd love to have some meetings with some of you guys to show you the things that are coming out now so that you don't miss them. You want to get in line to see those things. We're talking September, October, November deliveries. So if we don't do that now, I'm going to have an awful van load of stuff with this release and next release, and I'll be running the roads like crazy. So if you have any time at all or any ability at all to video chat with me, I would love to do that. Please just let me know. Okay, some more wides from Canvas. Some real natural and some pretty colors. That one's called Swirling Splendor. Now this is a wide you may be familiar with from Henry Glass. It's called Circle Play, and they just have some new colors, so red, white, and blue. in a couple different, a white background or a dark background. Okay, I have a pile of fabrics from Bettertex, Campus, and Contempo. And I have a pile of fabrics from Marcus, some new stuff, and also some material that we've seen in the past just on cards. So that was just a brief overview. The last one I want to show you is, and I am going to show you this one a little more detail. This is the Checker exclusive panels. You want to order them by the end of May to get them in September. And these are from Four Seasons. Amanda, you asked to see those, so here they are. Got some horses and Native Americans. There's the bald eagle and the patriotic army boots and helmet and stuff. Those again are ordered by the end of May, delivered by the end of September. Okay, there's 4 more panels here I want to show you. There's the little Kokopelli and the Indian in the headdress, a black lab, and it's like a desert southwest scene. So those again are from Four Seasons, division of David Textiles for Checker. So they're exclusive to Checker. Okay, so we'll go over more fabric in other videos a little bit more. I want to show you notions and books that I got in this box. And the first thing I want to show you is products from the Odif company. Odif company, I believe, is out of France. You're all familiar with the 505 temporary adhesive spray, and that's one of the products they make. But some of these other products you might not be as familiar with. This first one is Oticoat. Shout out to Tina. Tina's the first one that showed me this. They sent me a sample of this product and what it is. I'm going to give you this. It's a little canister of this coating. It turns your fabric into oilcloth. It's BPA free, acid free, and from what I saw on another little video is that it doesn't have a bad scent to it. So when you're using it, it's not like chasing you out of the room. So it just goes on kind of like Mod Podge. You brush it on with a flat paintbrush right onto your fabric, and it turns it into an oilcloth, turns it to waterproof. And depending on how many layers you put on, how thick and sturdy it's going to be, and how shiny it's going to be. So this is just regular fabric on the top, and then they put one coat on this one here. So I don't know if you can kind of see that it's changed a little bit. It's a little bit stiffer, yet it's still pretty thin and flexible. And then the next one has 2 coats on it, so you can see it's getting a little shinier, a little thicker. And then the last one has 3 coats, and it's quite thick. You could still sew through it nicely, but it just has that nice laminated coat on it. So it's nice to be able to turn any fabric you want into a laminated fabric versus just buying the limited amounts of prints that are available already pre-made that way. So again, that's called Oticoat. And 1 jar, if you were to take it and put a whole, you might get just under a yard if you put 3 layers on a whole yard. But in most cases, you're probably going to be doing a small piece, like the lining of a zippy bag, so that maybe you put your makeup in, you can wipe it out, or a lunch bag or something like that. You can use this for kitchen items. It is BPA free, acid free, but it's not recommended to use for food. So you still would want to wrap your food inside of the bag. But a lot of great kitchen uses, placemats, that kind of thing. So that's Oticoat. The next one, I'm sorry, they retail for $12.99 a jar, and you buy it in a box of 6. So there's your little canister to get your oilcloth effect. The next one is Fabric Booster, and this is a spray that you put on, and what it does is it makes your fabric stiffen. So you can use that to stiffen fabric so that you can cut it easily. Maybe you're using a die cut cutter, cutting some kind of cutting machine or embroidery machine, and you just want that fabric to behave. Here's a sample where the top is just regular fabric and the bottom has had that fabric stiffener put on. So it kind of like freezer paper, I guess. It's just going to make that fabric behave while you're using it and working with it. And then when you wash it, it goes completely back to the regular fabric. So that's called Fabric Booster. I guess there's not a number on it. It's just called Fabric Booster. And that retails for $7.99 a spray bottle, and you get them in boxes of 6. Okay, the next one is called Grippy. It's a little spray can, and what this is for is to put a thin layer onto a template or your ruler. Maybe if you have rulers that you like that don't have any grip on them, you spray this on very thin, maybe a couple coats to do a little bit better non-slip effect. And it can be removed with their DK5 cleaner. I didn't look that one up, so I don't know. But that one's called Grippy. It retails for $7.99 a can, and you buy those in a box of 6. The next one is called Anti-Static. It is a can of spray for $7.99. You buy it in a box of 6. Would be great if you're working with polyester or anything that's going to start clinging to you. It removes the static electricity. It's colorless and it doesn't stain. It is very slightly scented and it's acid free. Okay, the next one is Odif 808. And this is a reactivating adhesive. The can retails for $9.99 and you buy it in a box of 6. And what you do with this is spray your template plastic, and then you can put that on, or maybe translucent paper, whatever you're using for maybe an applique pattern, and you put that on your fabric and iron it and it will stick. And it's reactivating, so you can re-iron it to another piece and reuse it several times. So that's 808 reactivating spray. And did I tell you the price? It's $9.99 a can, box of 6. The next one is called Odif 606 Permanent Fusible Adhesive. And this one is just like it sounds, permanent adhesive. You spray it on after 45 seconds of ironing. It is permanently bound. It glues fabric, applique, badges, ribbons, and you can wash it on a warm setting or you can dry clean it and it's going to stay on. So that's 606. It retails for $13.99 a can, and you buy it in a box of 12. Okay, and then you're all familiar with the 505 spray. The can might start having a new look to it. So that is the Odif company. Okay, and the next one I'm really excited about is, drumroll, the Creative Grids new seam guide tools. There are 2 of them. The first one is long enough to go corner to corner on a 10.5-inch square. Let me show you on the smaller one. This is the smaller one. It will do up to a 6.5-inch square. So I have a tool like this in a different brand, but I can only make marks on either side of it. I love this one because not only does it have the Creative Grids grip, it also has a slot right down the middle, so you can use your pen to mark right down the middle of your square if you want to. And this is a little charm square, but it'll do up to a 6.5-inch square. So you can either mark the middle or the sides, whichever method you're using to make your half square and quarter square triangles. So the bigger one retails for $6.49 and the smaller one retails for $5.69. So newest Creative Grids. Gotta love Creative Grids. Okay, now we've been talking a lot lately about the products from Gypsy Quilter. So we now have a new product. It is pre-cut batting for the bowl cozies. So can you believe I haven't gotten on the bandwagon to make bowl cozies yet? So I will now, and it'll be a lot easier. Because what it is 8 pieces of this batting. So you can make 4 bowls with the package, and you would probably use the 505 spray to just adhere this onto your fabric. Mine is just clung on there right now. And instead of having to fold it and make all the marks, you would just fold it and then do your 1/4 inch seam right along that edge and make the darts for your bowl cozy. It also has the corners already rounded, so it makes a nice fabric bowl. Some people don't like those ears kind of sticking out when they're left square. So nice product to speed that process up. There are 8 pieces of that batting in the bag, so you can make 4 out of the package, and it retails for $12. That's the Gypsy Quilter pre-cut bowl cozy batting. Okay, the next few things have to do with the hand stitching, in particular cross stitching. This is from Itzo Emma. It's finishing tape. It's double-sided adhesive, 3/4 inch wide, and you get 30 feet, so 10 yards of tape. And what you can do is finish your products, like tape it around foam board or art board, and it doesn't leave any residue on your fabric, and you don't have to use clips or pens or staples. So it's just a nice professional way to finish those projects. That is double-sided acid-free tape, and it's retails for $10.98. Okay. The next thing is this little cross stitch key from Itzo Emma, and all around this couple of edges you see these little guides for the different Aida cloth counts, like a 10 count. I can't quite read it from where I'm sitting, but you could use that to figure out what gauge your Aida cloth is. You know, when you have a bunch of that stuff in your stash, you don't know what size it is, so this would help you figure that out. It also has a ruler on here for spacing. This right here is a little corner guide, and there are holes in there, so you could use a pen to just, you know, mark a little spot in the corners, maybe a friction pen or a temporary chalk pen or something, to help you set your margins around the edge of your cross stitch project, so you don't cross stitch right off the edge. Okay, then the last thing that's on there is this little reference guide in the middle. I don't know if the camera will focus on it, but it tells you how many threads of floss that you need and what size needle, depending on what size cloth you're using. So that's a nice all-in-one little tool from Itzo Emma, and that retails for $10.98. Okay, the next thing is a little set of stitching cards, patterns from Lori Holt, Be in My Bonnet cross stitching cards, and as you can imagine, they go right along with her themes. Here's a little flower and a beehive and a bumblebee and a watering can. And the back side of it gives you the chart, and they are using DMC floss on their charts for these. So that little set of stitching cards is $9.98 retail. Okay, some of you have pre-ordered the Prim fabric from Riley Blake from Lori Holt that's coming out this July, and this is a little cross stitch pattern that goes along with that fabric. So this is what it looks like. They're showing you both Orifloss and DMC in the guide. And it has this cute little keychain charm, one of the houses on it. And that comes together for $16.98. Okay, then I have a few little books. The first 2 are pocket guides. The first little pocket guide is for Sashiko. So if someone wants to know how to do Sashiko, if I can talk here, it just gives you some of the basic patterns, what supplies you would need, Just kind of gives you basic information about how to prepare your fabric and your thread, and mark your design. And then in the back, it has some different designs that you can copy. You can reduce or enlarge them. So it's just a nice little pocketbook, you know, for $7.95. So that's the first one. The second one is a little paper piecing pocket guide. Now this is foundation paper piecing. And inside you'll find a few little patterns, and what they're doing is showing different ways that you can foundation paper piece. They have like the printed off the printer method. They have the freezer paper method. And they also have these little patterns in there. So like, for example, the apple. Thought I could go right to it. There's your apple pattern, and they tell you what you need, and then they tell you to enlarge this 200%. And when you do that on your printer, this is what you get. So you have the little pieces to go ahead, and it would really be a nice reference tool if you were doing a beginning class on foundation paper piecing. So that's that little pocket guide. And I have 3 books to show you. This one is called Walk, Jog, Run. And the idea is that it teaches you how to free motion quilt by doing little projects, getting started with really basic find the right page here. Information, your batting, a lot of basic information up at the front and how to get set up. And then an example, straight line quilting. And they're just making little projects like table toppers or aprons. They're having you doodle on the apron handle just to start getting comfortable with the whole concept of free motion quilting. So nice little starter book for free motion quilt. I think would probably be mostly on a domestic machine versus a long arm. Here's a little hand embroidery book. This is from Shirley Hudson, and there are just several little projects in here. And what I'll do is just open it up to the project page so you can see kind of what's inside. Imagine there's a lot of people home taking up their hand stitching these days, right? And then the last book is So Very Easy. Some of you may be familiar with, it's Laura Koya, I think that's how you say her name. She has a YouTube video called So Very Easy. And I think it's kind of funny because the quilt that's laying on my table here is one of these patterns. I'll show you the patterns. These are patterns that she has showed how to do on her YouTube video, and they're all summarized in this book. And this basket weave pattern is the one I have on the table. A few years ago, I got a bunch of fabric. It's called Just Color from Studio E, and I did not know what to do with it because those colors just didn't seem like they would work for me. So let me see if I can show you a little bit more of this. That's the basket weave pattern. So, and it didn't turn out too bad. Not the colors I would have chose, but it turned out pretty good. So anyway, that's all I have for you right now. Please let me know how you're doing. Reply to this. If you're not on the Facebook group, like I said, I'm going to send this out an email. If you're not on the Facebook group, go ahead and get on there, and you'll see what I'm posting out there as far as fabric lines and whatnot. But there was something I wanted to share with you. I don't know. I've lost it. Take care. Be safe. Stay well. Hopefully this thing will be over sooner rather than later, and we can all get back together again. So in the meantime, have a good day. Miss ya.